deep, deep place. But you might not see the beauty that's in front of your own face. So let's go get a coffee from the shop for $7. If you're after contemplation, let me tell you you're in luck, 'cause you're at Contemplative Coffee Corner. It's a place for deep discussion. Too bad nothing rhymes with corner, that's right. Grab your MacBook, bring a mug, and open mind, 'cause a little contemplation does a lot for humankind. Welcome back to Contemplative Coffee Corner. I'm Austin. This isn't coffee. And today's subject of contemplation is justice. What is justice? Where can you find it? What are some examples of justice in our everyday lives? Well, it just so happens I have a cup of justice we can look at right here. Now, if you... Oh, this is just ice. That's right. I got it mixed up because this is real and justice is not. Now, you're probably asking yourself, wow, when did this guy get so bitter? Who screwed him over, huh? Oh, don't worry. I'll be sharing that tale soon enough. But for now, I'd like to play for you a song I wrote about justice. Imaginary, can't find it anywhere. Imaginary, the universe just doesn't care. No consequences, murderers get off scot-free. There is no justice, but golly gosh, it's real to me. It holds my hand, it makes me feel so safe inside, though it's not real. I always smile when I pretend the world is fair. It kicks those bullies in the crotch. It bought me a brand new Apple Watch. When kids bring gum to school, it always makes them share. It's imaginary. It maybe did not do that stuff. Results may vary, but in my head it's real enough. Words can be hurtful, but sticks and stones can build a jail. There is no justice. Pretend, but it's to no avail. We'll give that a look. I think I made a stupid face at the end there, but that's whatever. And now, for the moment one or two of you have been waiting for. My personal injustice. A major turning point in my life. And for those of you keeping track at home, this is the part where I go off script and start talking like an idiot, because I haven't planned any of it ahead of time. Anyway, it was 7th grade. Our teacher was informing us that on this day we were going to go into the computer lab and take the NUIA test. And in Washington, I don't know if this is an everywhere thing or whatever, but I believe it's a Washington centralized test. It's just a computer test. You take like a math NUIA and a reading NUIA, and it'll give you scores to gauge your learning progress. And those scores were very important to me. You know, that's a number. That's a number you can equate to your intelligence and just lord over other people's heads. And I was real good at that. I was a real head of a kid. And it was especially easy because in the cafeteria there was a big sign on the wall, huge sign that just said like math and reading, and then it would say the name of the highest scoring student in the school and the number. So if you scored the highest, your name gets up there and everybody sees it and they think you're a big dork and they beat you up. That maybe didn't happen to me, but I thought it was amazing. I've been on that wall once or twice, so I thought this test was going to be a walk in the park, a walk in the computer lab, a walk in the NUIA test. And so our teacher, she wanted to give us some extra incentive to do well, to improve. 'Cause the test sucks. It takes forever. And especially if you care about what you're answering at all, because most of it's multiple choice. And you can just click. You can just be like, oh, every answer is C. You pick C, you win. But if you really care and you really focus on every question, it takes you a couple hours, sometimes 3 hours to take that test. And I would always take just a long time because I really cared about those numbers. I thought if the numbers aren't good, surely I'm not good. Um, but our teacher wanted to make sure everybody took the time and made sure they got a good score on it because that reflects well on her. So she bought some sodas and some candy and like a donut. And she said, whoever improves the most and scores the highest, it was like weird. It was like a combination of those things. So like the most improvement versus highest score, whatever. She'd pick a kid. She'd say, well, this kid did very well on test. I guess this kid gets a donut. And they just get all the stuff. I wanted that stuff. And in my eyes, it belonged to me already. I was like, listen, I'm just gonna improve the most. Why not just give it to me right now? Once again, let me reiterate, I was a shithead of a kid. And so we're all marching down to the computer lab. We're getting ready to take the test. Everybody's like, oh. And some of the kids are excited because we had old CRT monitors. And every time we were in the computer lab, they could just press the like de-Gauss button and make a big rainbow flash across the screen. That was always cool. You know, you could always do that over and over instead of taking the test. But I was ready. I had not necessarily been studying, but I had confidence. And if you have confidence, that's basically already success, you know? You win based on how much you believe you're going to win. Maybe. Anyway, I wasn't the only kid in my class who did pretty well on these tests. There was another kid whose name I won't mention, but I can tell you that it rhymed with Smiley Greedler. And he did pretty well on those tests too. It took almost as long as I did to take them, and then we both get pretty decent scores. And I needed to beat this kid, you know? I needed to take him down. Those donuts are mine. You know, it's not just a number at stake. It is food. Food is my favorite. I want it. So we're going into the class. We go into the computer lab, and everybody's sitting down, taking the test, and I'm on it. I got my face pressed against the screen, and I'm just reading every line of our like reading comprehension things and whatnot. Clicking the right bubble, reading the question again, double checking the bubble, reading the question again, enter. It was taking forever, but I was sure this was the strat, you know? This was my master strat. I was gonna kill it. And I see Smiley over in the corner. I'm just gonna say that. I realize Smiley's a kind of a stupid name, but it does rhyme. It does rhyme with his, so that's what I'm rolling with. Smiley's over there. He's doing the same thing. His face is maybe even more pressed against the computer screen than I was. How dare he risk eye damage for success more than I am? How dare he do this? So I'm rolling through questions. I'm getting every single one maybe right. There's no feedback on this test. All it tells you is as a number at the end. And one by one, like kids will finish, raise their hands up, and then they just go back to our homeroom. And so the computer lab's slowly emptying. And little by little, it ends up being that me and Smiley, we're the only two kids left in the computer lab. And we both have not too many questions left to go. It's not going to take that long. But he's a little bit ahead of me. That's no good. But I can't rush myself. If I start rushing, I'm going to get things wrong. And he's going to get the donut. So I stay true to my course, you know? I'm answering questions the way I want to. I'm taking my time because we have unlimited time. There's no time limit on this test. You can take as long as you want, and the longer you take, the more classes you get to skip to be in there. So it's a win-win all around. And Smiley, he gets done before me. He raises his hands up, and he walks back to homeroom, and I saw his score. I took a peek. You're not supposed to look. But I was a shithead, so I did look. I looked and I saw his score and I was like, this is nothing. This is a chump change score. I can beat that. And I take my time. There's like 5 questions left. I answer 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on the last question. It's easy. I knock it out of the park. I hit enter. I get my score. It's way better. It's maybe not. I maybe am exaggerating a bit. It was a higher score, and I did improve more, right? And in my eyes, this donut's mine. I did it. This was the only thing I had to do. The test is over. I can now go and claim my prize. I get a soda, I get like a Butterfinger and a donut. This is the best school day ever. Maybe my name will be on the board again and everybody will think I'm a dork and beat me up and all, that's happiness to me. So I get back to homeroom, I open up the door and I look at our teacher's desk where the donut once was. There's no donut there. Where did it go? And I'm scanning the room, and I see our teacher, and I walk up to her, and I'm like, hey, here's the score I got, and I hand her my sheet of paper, and she looks at it, and she's like, oh dear, oh my goodness. And I'm like, what's up? Is this not the highest score? And she's like, no, this is the highest score. You did improve the most on these tests, but Smiley came in earlier and he said that he was the last one taking the test. He said no one else was taking it anymore. And he got the highest score, so I gave the donut to him. So the dude got the thing that belonged to me. He got that stuff that belonged to me that I earned by testing better than him. He got it by walking in and lying. Okay? And I'm like, okay, well, is there a donut for me then? Or like, is there something else? Are you gonna... And she's like, well, I can't take his prize away. That would just be mean. But I also don't have anything else to give you, so I'm sorry, you're out of luck. And I was like, so cool. I guess I spent all that time, in that computer lab for nothing. Apparently there is no justice. And I still believe that, to this day. There have been no repercussions. That man ate a donut that belonged to me. It was mine. He ate it, he enjoyed it, and he got that from lying. He didn't have to earn it. He just had to say it was his. Let that sink in for a moment. I mean, it's probably sunk in. I probably have hammered this in a little too hard. You get it. A guy ate my donut. Oh, boo-hoo. Sorry, Austin. Somebody ate your donut. Whoops. Yeah, it's whatever. But I do still... I still hold a little bit of a grudge for this. Anyway, I think that wraps up this episode of Contemplative Coffee Corner. We all learned a valuable lesson, I think. And this normally is the part where I'd grab my guitar and play Wonderwall, but actually I'm really sick of playing that song and I think that joke is old. So here's an outro song. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. You tuned out yet? Has it faded away yet? Can I cut? Is this still rolling? Is the camera still rolling video? Yeah? Okay, see, goodbye.